Hey folks, Gary here, and it's Saturday. Man, I hope your Saturday is looking really good. Ours is looking great. It's like really warm outside, which is nice. Hey, we're looking at the life of Moses. Introduced that yesterday, and so today we're looking at the birth of Moses and how God sets him up. So we're looking at chapter 2 of the book of Exodus, verse 1 down to verse 10. Let me just read it to you. A man from the Levi tribe married a woman from the same tribe, and she later had a baby boy. He was a beautiful child, and she kept him inside for 3 months. She was hiding him, and the reason why she was hiding him was this: the Israelites, the Hebrews, were becoming quite the force in Egypt. They were probably at 5-6 million people, and the Egyptians were freaked out by this, and so they were killing the Hebrew babies. Horrible stuff. So she was keeping her son hidden. But when she could no longer keep him hidden, she made a basket out of reeds and covered it with tar. She put him in the basket and placed it in the tall grass along the edge of the Nile River. The baby's older sister stood off at a distance to see what would happen to him. About that time, one of the king's daughters came down to take a bath. So one of Pharaoh's daughters came down to take a bath in the river, while her servants walked along the riverbank. She saw a basket in the tall grass and sent one of the young women to pull it out of the water. Hey, Cole. When the king's daughter opened the basket, she saw the baby and felt sorry for him because he was crying. She said, "This must be one of the Hebrew babies." At once the baby's older sister came up and asked, "Do you want me to get a Hebrew woman to take care of the baby for you?" "Yes," the king's daughter answered. So the girl brought the baby's mother. And the king's daughter told her, "Take care of this child and I will pay you." So Moses' mom gets to keep her son and she's getting paid for it. That's kind of cool. The baby's mother carried him home and took care of him. And when he was old enough, she took him to the king's daughter, who adopted him and named him Moses because, she said, "I pulled him out of the water." So Moses ends up being adopted by Pharaoh's daughter and becomes part of Pharaoh's family. And this sets off a whole bunch of other things that take place. What really grabs me about this is that God puts you into positions, puts you into places, and you had nothing to do with it. When we get older and more mature, obviously there's more responsibility on us, and there's an expectation that we step into the things God has prepared for us. But at the same time, if you find yourself in a weird spot, maybe seek and see whether God's actually placed you in that spot, because Moses was definitely placed into Pharaoh's family by God. And from what I can see, the only thing that Moses actually did for this to happen was cry like a baby. From what I read here, it was all God and all God's provision that this took place. And same thing happens in our lives. I'm confident that God does place you into places. Whatever place you're in right now, trust that God is with you and trust that God has you in that place for a reason. So seek out what it is and don't be afraid to serve Him.